Good morning. Today is Sunday, the 7th of June, and as you can see, we've flipped the boat. This was no easy task. She is pretty heavy and not much to hold on to at this point. So Josh and I managed without breaking anything, cracking anything, and she's now lying on this side. And the task today is going to be to fill in all of these seams with, I think I'm going to use silica and epoxy rather than the wood flour. Reason is I'm going to use a syringe, and I think I can get a smoother mix with the silica. So there is a lot, as expected, to do on these seams, and I'm going to get cracking in a few minutes. Something I have to share and address: the centerboard case. Oh my god. If you have a look there, you'll see something that's not very nice to see. The case is not lined up with this slot, and I don't want to think too much about it now because it's a huge job to change, but that's all right. It's an amateur project, and not sure what went wrong, but clearly the case is visible in the slot, and it shouldn't be. Now, it may be a case of cutting the slot a little bit more on the right hand side. The blade of the centerboard is only 6mm, so it might just fit as is, but I'll have to address that later. Now I need to get going and finish with the seam filling. Well, it's done. It's 4 o'clock. It's taken me most of the day. I think I only started around 11, but yeah, quite a few hours, quite a tedious job, but I'm quite happy with the first round. I reckon once I sand this down, I'm going to go over it, probably need to go over it all again, but I'll see what it's like once the seams have all been sanded down and dusted down. So the rain has held off as well, thank goodness. I think it's about to start, so I'm going to cover it up and leave it for another day. Bit of late Monday afternoon update. I put in a couple of hours of sanding the seams, the first sanding down after a full day's BMI work. So I'm going to see if I can flip the camera. I don't think you can flip it while it's recording, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera and show you what I've been doing. So there's the boat. These are the seams that I've sanded today. I think it went reasonably as I expected. I wasn't planning on the first go. Just wait for that to go by. Yeah, I was planning to have a second time round filling, like there's a little hole there, for example. But more interestingly, looking at it like this, are the possibilities for shaping the hull. And that raises questions of timing and projects to do. So I'm going to be pondering that. Over the next while and decide what to do next, because I could, in a way, spend the next 2 weeks just on the hull and complete the outside. If it's better to do it upside down, I'm not sure. Some jobs have to be done upside down. Probably is then to do the whole thing upside down. But there's quite a lot of focus in doing that, and I wasn't quite expecting to. I was expecting to do this first sand, turn it back up, and then build the interior, what's it called, fit out the interior. The problem with doing that, though, thinking about it, is if I turn it over now again and fit it out inside, it's going to add weight. It's going to add, I don't know, 50, 60 kilos, maybe more. And it was really heavy when Josh and I flipped it. So flipping it back over then to finish the hull on the outside, I don't quite know how I would manage that. Need to get a crane in here or something. So it's those considerations that I'm pondering now. And with the Petit Brise in the background, I will sign out. See you later. Good afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon after work. This week has been a little bit up and down. I haven't done that much work on the boat, partly because of the weather. It's been a bit rainy, but I've been doing lots of thinking and thinking about the rig, which I'll talk about another time, thinking about how to develop a cradle that helps me flip the boat more easily, because I'll need to do that a couple more times. And thinking about, well, to be honest, the centreboard case and setup has been on my mind. And just now, I think I've seen something that has given me a huge peace of mind. So I'll show that to you in a minute. But basically, once I turned the boat over, it looked like the centreboard case was not lined up with the slot. And I wasn't sure whether the whole case was over by a few mil or whether it was not dead straight fore and aft. But I will give you a little demonstration of what I've managed to do, and you'll see, I think everything's going to be all right. Also, I will introduce you to a marvelous little tool, little power tool. I think it's called a router trimmer. So I've never got on with a full-blown router, and even this little trimmer, it scares me because it's quite powerful, and I've been using it freehand on this latest little job, but it seems to have done the trick. So let me give you a little look at what I've done. This is the centreboard slot, and when I flipped the boat over and looked into it, I see the centreboard case bottom edge visible in the slot, but the other side is not visible because there's an overhang of the bottom board. So I have today taken this wonderful tool, which is a router trimmer with a cutting blade. I drew a 2mm line away from the edge and put this tool into the slot and very carefully cut away about 2mm of the bottom board. So set the depth of the router to 12mm. So it's taken a strip of the bottom plank off. So now when I put the centreboard in, and this is the wooden centreboard, I'm actually getting a 6mm steel board. This looks like about 7mm. So to try it out, that's probably roughly where the centreboard will be, and that's fully out. It looks pretty straight to me. I've actually set the centreboard up on a pivot, just a 4mm bolt. So I'll just demonstrate again that I think this is going to be okay. And with a 6mm steel plate, it can only be better. So have a look at this. Voila! Oops, disappeared. But it works. Good stuff. So that concludes the latest video. It is only Thursday, but it's kind of the end of a phase. So over the next few days, I'll talk more about the thoughts I've had of the rig. So I'm going for a single-masted standing lug with no boom, so a loose-footed mainsail and a flying jib, but more about that later. But what I want to do over the next few days is measure up and shape the skeg and the two runners, as well as the bow and the transom. So there's quite a bit involved there. I'm going to go ahead with that, and then I'm going to flip the boat over again and fit out the inside. So I'll kind of speak about how I came to that decision. But this is signing off on a Thursday afternoon. Have a good evening.